Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a fundamental concept that underpins all modern societies: human rights. But what exactly does this term encompass? Is it primarily about protecting individual freedoms from state interference, or ensuring the social and economic well-being of the collective? This isn't just an abstract discussion, it affects the lives and dignity of people worldwide. We'll explore two distinct philosophies: liberalism, which champions civil and political liberties, and communism, which emphasizes economic and social rights. Get ready for a thought-provoking debate that will challenge your understanding of what it means to be truly free and truly human. Let's begin.
Thank you, moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, from a liberal standpoint, human rights are inherent, inalienable rights possessed by every individual from birth, which no state or power can legitimately take away. The bedrock of human rights lies in protecting the individual's autonomy and liberty from state encroachment. This includes fundamental civil and political rights, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, the right to a fair trial, and the right to participate in democratic governance. The state's primary duty is to respect, protect, and fulfill these rights by limiting its own power, upholding the rule of law, and ensuring equal opportunity for all to exercise these freedoms. Any state intervention, even with the best intentions for collective good, that restricts these core individual liberties fundamentally undermines human dignity. True human flourishing occurs when individuals are free to pursue their own truth and express their unique potential.
Thank you, Liberalism, for outlining the liberal perspective on individual freedoms. Now, from Communist, your opening statement from the communist perspective.
Thank you, moderator. Liberalism speaks of freedom, but I must ask, freedom for whom? For the wealthy, certainly. But what is freedom to a person dying of a preventable disease because they cannot afford health care? What is freedom to a child who cannot access education because their family is impoverished? From a communist perspective, human rights cannot be separated from the fundamental economic, social, and cultural rights. We believe that true human liberation and dignity are impossible without the guaranteed fulfillment of basic human needs: the right to a decent job with fair wages, the right to quality education, universal health care, adequate housing, and food security. The state's role is not merely to guard an unequal status quo. It is to actively ensure these rights for all citizens, through public ownership of vital resources, planned economic development geared towards social welfare, and radical wealth redistribution. Without these socio-economic foundations, civil and political freedoms are merely abstract concepts, hollow promises for the vast majority. The state, as an instrument of the collective, must empower the dispossessed and guarantee a dignified life for everyone.
Communist, your emphasis on state guarantee of socio-economic rights, while sounding benevolent, has historically led to massive state power, often at the cost of the very civil and political liberties that define true human rights. When the state controls all aspects of the economy and social welfare, what prevents it from becoming authoritarian? Dissent is often stifled, free expression curtailed, and individual choice severely limited in the name of collective good. We have seen countless examples where such states, in their pursuit of economic equality, have denied their citizens the fundamental rights to speak, to assemble, or even to move freely. How do you guarantee that your powerful state won't become a tyrannical one?
Liberalism, your fear of the state is a fear rooted in its historical use as an instrument of class oppression by the bourgeoisie. The state under communism, in its ideal form, is a transitional tool, democratically controlled by the working class itself, moving towards a stateless, classless society. The oppression you speak of is often the necessary suppression of exploitative elements to liberate the vast majority. Furthermore, what about the silent tyranny of the market, where corporate power dictates life chances and economic forces leave millions without access to basic necessities? Our state's purpose is to empower the dispossessed, to ensure true freedom from want, which is a far more fundamental human right than the freedom to starve or be exploited. Liberalism, you champion civil and political liberties. But what good is freedom of speech to a person who is illiterate and starving? What good is the right to vote if one's entire existence is consumed by the struggle for survival? In a liberal state, public goods like healthcare and education often become commodities, accessible only to those who can afford them, thereby creating a de facto two-tiered system of human rights. How can a system that allows such vast material inequality truly uphold universal human rights? Isn't an individual's freedom meaningless without the material conditions to exercise it?
Communist, while access to healthcare, education, and food is undoubtedly crucial, these are not the same category of rights as civil and political freedoms. The right to speak is a universal, inherent right that requires the state not to interfere. The right to healthcare, while morally compelling, requires the state to provide a service, which is dependent on economic capacity. A limited state, through a fair tax system, aims to provide robust social safety nets and universal access to these services, but it does so without infringing on fundamental liberties. The greatest threats to human dignity arise not from material want alone, but from the state's ability to control thought, movement, and conscience. It is these core freedoms that allow individuals to advocate for their needs, to demand better services, and to hold power accountable. Without them, even the promise of material comfort can come at the price of the soul.
What a profound and vital discussion we've had tonight on human rights. We've explored liberalism's emphasis on safeguarding individual civil and political freedoms, viewing them as inherent and universal. And we've heard communism's argument for the fundamental importance of economic and social rights, believing they are prerequisites for genuine human dignity. This debate clearly highlights the different ways these ideologies interpret and prioritize human rights. There are no easy answers, and both perspectives offer valuable insights into the complex challenges of ensuring justice and well-being for all. Thank you to our speakers for the compelling arguments, and to all of you for engaging with this crucial topic. We hope this discussion has deepened your understanding of human rights in our diverse world.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the next episode of Pro and Contra.
See you.